Hello and welcome to Sorcerer King. I'm Adam Beestner with Stardock. I'm here showing off our brand new fantasy strategy game in which the objective is to build an awesome army, survive the Sorcerer King's attacks, defend the shards, and eventually go and have a sufficiently awesome army full of units and heroes and who are equipped with stuff that you've crafted yourself and enchanted and made awesome. And anyway, to get strong enough to go actually kick in the gates of his fortress and kick him right in the teeth before he destroys the world and becomes a god. So it's a little different from your typical, I guess, fantasy strategy game, but hopefully people enjoy it. The deal with Sorcerer King is that we have, you pick as a sovereign to play. And today I'm showing off the Tinkerer sovereign. Each of our sovereigns is very different. The Tinkerer, his deal is that he has all this item-based stuff. He unlocks a ton of unique items for crafting. Like here, Aerosmith, he gets arrowheads that add like a bunch of attack and elemental damage for arrow units, archers. Legendary jewelcraft, legendary weapons, like legendary armor. These are like ridiculously powerful, unique items that only the Tinkerer can craft. All of our other sovereigns actually have a clairvoyance line, which lets them cast more spells in battle. He doesn't have clairvoyance. All he has is clairvoyance amulets, which are a little expensive to make, but he only has to spend the one level up on it, and you can make as many as you want as long as you can find the loot. So that kind of, along with everything else, he's got a bunch of things that more common loot from battles, more uncommon loot from battles, right? Like more lore and sovereign skill when you find goodie huts and complete quests, all this stuff that just makes him kind of the master of crafting. As it were. The amusingly named Thrifty Potioneers, which our designer who named it, I kind of have not ever stopped giving him crap for that. But it amuses me. Anyway, so I've kind of dumped all my points into magic. See, now you capture the shards and they give you magic points. And those magic points can be dumped into skill, which is leveling up your sovereign, lore, which is researching new spells, and mana, which you use to actually cast the spells. But you also use mana to enchant. So the Tinkerer is the only sovereign who starts with enchanting unlocked. So if we go down to my this is what my dwarf is wearing here. He's the only one with any equipment on him because I've kind of burned everything to make him awesome equipment. But so the Tinkerer starts with one enchanting slot, which everybody else has to unlock, even the first one, and then he unlocks a second one. So everything can basically be double enchanted for the Tinkerer. And enchantments are awesome. It's like things like +1 initiative, so you get more attacks, extra damage, extra mana from kills. That one is extremely valuable. That's from a demon horn, which is a pain in the butt to get, let me tell you. What else? Oh, the splintered staff is +1 moves. Extremely powerful. Just huge, really powerful stuff. Oh, the ogre blood, always a favorite. A bunch of extra hit points. And so my dwarf is really a kind of one dwarf wrecking crew now, which is good because I've been kind of mouthing off to the Sorcerer King. And so he plopped these garrisons in my territory. And his lieutenant, Agathon, here is kind of threatening Avalan here, which is going to be a problem because he's really strong. He's a giant fire demon, and he's really fast, and he's probably going to kill me. But in the meantime, we're going to show off what the dwarf can do. So this is a pretty seriously large enemy army here. And I'm going to double check that my animation speed isn't too fast, which it is, because I was trying to get this game to a state where I could show it off. So I'm going to turn that back to normal. And we're going to attack. So you can see what the dwarf can do. He's so awesome. All right, so the bad guys are doing their thing, afflicting my units with Nightmare. The Shadow Warg is doing Unholy Howl, which gives all of his units a big buff to speed or initiative and attack. And he summoned some Darklings in to assist him. But that's all fine, because I'm going to do terrible things to the enemy here. So because of the way I've leveled up my dwarf, he has two abilities that work incredibly well in concert. So Polar Vortex pulls in all the enemies toward him and deals a couple damage, which, okay, a couple damage, not a big deal. But it also, he gets to take another turn and use, for example, Dwarven Fury. Attacks all units, friend and foe, next to him. Well, he does a gajillion damage because he's enchanted to the gills. And there are no longer any units that are troubling me here. So in one kind of move, I just demolished something like 2/3 of his army. Now, this is an army that tactic is particularly effective against because just because they have a bunch of weaker units that I'm able to go. Oh, I found a Drake egg earlier in the game and got myself a pet Drake, who's pretty awesome. I have a wolf of my own who is not awesome, but can go hit something and take a hit. So that one of my there he goes. That's kind of unsurprising. But that's okay, because, I mean, look at this. He's down to 2 units. Oof. Harbingers are awful. Theirs is mean. They're mean, bad, horrible people. Well, goat demons, whatever. I don't like them. But neither does Drogon the dwarf, and so that's okay. He's going to go get it done. Yeah, he is a boss. He is, as I like to say, the bossiest boss in Boss Town. Everybody gets some XP. It's good times. There's still another unit or army here, which I'm going to be able to just go in and crush once again. I think it shouldn't be too much trouble. Yeah, this is the same thing is going to happen to them. Although I might lose my Drake. Yep, that stinks. Which actually is... You'll see why I'm not as upset about that as I could be in a moment here. But we're going to do the old dwarf combo. Polar Vortex, Dwarven Fury. Crush. He also has a ring. Incidentally, when he does take damage, he gets all his health back when he does that because he has a ring that gives him a bunch of health whenever he kills something. So that works out just fine. So, all right. So, and then I can clear out the garrison for some loot, which is cool. I have my little wolf buddy out here who's kind of out exploring. I'm just going to set him to explore. And then he's probably going to die. Yeah, whatever. I don't really care about him. I'm a terrible person. Nobody should ever join my army, for the record. My city is leveling up here, which means I get more territory, more production, all that kind of good stuff. Gonna end my turn. And, yep, the wolf is gonna die, and... Do I want to let it die? Yeah, I want to let it die. I'm just gonna auto-resolve and let him eat it, which is what it is, but because I have larger fish to fry, or demons to get barbecued by anyway, but I want to see how Drogon does. So you saw how strong he was against the Harbinger armies in those Sorcerer King garrisons. We're going to attack the Lieutenant here. Now, Lieutenants are, I mean, they are the Sorcerer King's biggest and baddest, right? There's 2 of them on the map. You have to kill both of them in order to... Jeez, even his kind of dingus units are tearing my dudes apart. You have to kill both of the lieutenants. There's a giant ice demon as well. In order to actually assault the Sorcerer King and get a chance to win the game. So I'm going to do my combo here because, as you can see, I clearly need to kill these guys. So we'll get that done. So that's good. And I actually criticaled the fire demon, which things could be a lot worse. Okay. I might actually have a chance here. Even though my other guys got torn up real quick. Let's see, what do I have sovereign-wise that I can cast? Okay, I have some Vorpal summons. The problem is I have to give up 41 turns remaining to Obscuring Fog because I'm putting all my points into mana. The problem is I give up my Dwarf's turn in order to actually do that, the whatever it is that I'm going to do, the spell cast, which... Probably my Dwarf's turn is better spent hitting the demon. Hitting him real good. Another critical for 96. I think Drogon, is going to get kind of one-shotted. So, as strong as your heroes are, I mean, that actually went way better than I expected it to. He's got a pretty high critical rating because of some equipment and stuff that he has. So he rolled really well and got 2 crits in. This is kind of the best case scenario for this attack. But you can see, like, even though my hero is crazy strong, it's still... He's not invincible as much as I would like him to be. But when your hero dies, he's not actually dead. That would be way too punishing in this game. He just gets sent back to the nearest city, which in this case is the city he was trying to protect. Knocked down to 1 hit point and immobilized for 3 turns. So he has to sit and heal for 3 turns in the city. And I take a big doomsday hit. 25 Doomsday to the Doomsday counter, which is not ideal because that is, if that fills up, the Sorcerer King wins the game. Plus, he gets more powerful as the Doomsday counter goes up. So it's rough times. But it's not the end of the game. You can recover from things like that. I'm actually still in fairly decent shape here. Having a couple shards controlled, having a couple decent cities out here. Having my dwarf is still awesome. He got, his face kicked in by the fire demon, but he's still pretty awesome. And my cities are growing all right. So I'm actually still in okay shape. But that's kind of how a little mid-game Sorcerer King can go from time to time. Hope you enjoyed this little look at the Tinkerer and see how he plays kind of differently than our other sovereigns. Hope you find it interesting enough to check us out. We are available now through Steam or through Stardock.com or through the digital distributor of your choice. SorcererKing.com has all the info that you need. We're on Twitch on a regular basis at twitch.tv/Stardock. We are on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on every, social network that all the cool kids are on these days. Probably not. There's probably something new that we haven't heard of because we're old and boring and we make strategy games, which are hopefully not boring. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope this amused you as it amused me. And I hope that Sorcerer King looks interesting to you and that you might give us a shot. And anyway, if you're interested, you'll probably see me on Twitch sooner than later. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.